We come to my analysis of political art presentation. The piece I will choose is Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream. Let's get started. First, let me give you the historical and political context of the work. I Have a Dream is King's speech at the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom event was a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. It addressed the systemic racism, segregation, and the need for the equality. Against the backdrop of racial segregation and the fight for civil rights, King's speech served as a clarion call for social justice and equality. It energized the civil rights movement and influenced significant legislative change, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Then I will give you some background information on Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Jr. was a prominent leader of the American civil rights movement, known for his advocacy of nonviolent protest and his role in advancing civil rights for African Americans. He born January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. King was raised in a family deeply involved in the Baptist church. He became a Baptist minister himself and emerged as a central figure in the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955, which propelled him into national prominence. King's leadership and powerful oratory skills were instrumental in organizing marches, protests, and boycotts, including the famous March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, where he delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 for his tireless efforts to combat racial inequality and promote social justice. We need to understand what King's I Have a Dream speech is meant to tell us. Let me tell you what he's up to. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech aims to inspire and mobilize people toward racial equality and justice in America. It serves as a powerful call to action advocating for civil rights and the end of racial discrimination. The speech doesn't only inform but passionately argues for the realization for King's dream for a society where individuals are judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Finally, I'm going to show you its valuable artwork through 5 aesthetic principles. The 1963 Martin Luther King Jr. speech, I Have a Dream, is valuable according to the aesthetic principle that objects are aesthetically valuable if they are meaningful or teach us truth. When his speech, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation when they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. He revealed the truth about racial inequality and conveyed to us the fundamental truth that there is a universal desire for equality and fairness. I Have a Dream is valuable according to the aesthetic principle that objects are aesthetically valuable if they have the capacity to convey values or beliefs that they central to the culture or tradition in which they originate or that are important to the artist who made them. When his speech, I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi A state sweltering with the heat of injustice. Sweltering with the heat of oppression will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. The speech embodies values central to American culture and the civil rights movement, such as freedom, justice, and equality. The speech also reflects King's lifelong quest and has inspired generations to uphold these beliefs. I have a dream is valuable according to the aesthetic principle that objects are aesthetically valuable if they have the capacity to help bring about social or political change. This speech played a key role in organizing the civil rights movement and bringing about major social and political changes. Through his speech, King described a version of a harmonious society with freedom, justice, and equality. In doing so, he mobilized millions of people to challenge segregation and discrimination. The impact of the speech was visualized in the subsequent passage of landmark civil rights legislation, which underscored its ability to bring about real change. I have a dream is valuable according to the aesthetic principle that objects are aesthetically valuable if they have the capacity to produce pleasure in those who experience or appreciate them. The speech evoked hope that inspired the audience to share a common vision for a better future. King's stirring speeches and impassioned appeals for justice resonated with the audience, giving them a sense of pleasure and empowerment. I have a dream is valuable according to the aesthetic principle that objects are aesthetically valuable if they have the capacity to produce certain emotions we value. At least when the emotion is brought about by art rather than life. The speech invoked feelings of hope for the future, determination to resist injustice, and more. Through impassioned words and captivating imagery, King evoked these emotions in his audience, exploding their hidden feelings. This is the end of my presentation today. Thank you for your watching.